What's up, everyone? This is Raine Cruz, and it's time for the Raine Check with professional fighter Nikola Chunk Kacperska. Good morning, Nikola. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm cold, but I am so happy to see you here on the Rain Check. Now, I want to ask you the countdown is on for your bout against Hope Chase at LFA 223 this Friday, November 21st at Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino in Niagara Falls, New York. How focused are you now that you are just a few days away from fight night?
The hard part is over now. Just finishing up touches and just kind of, waiting for the time to, come and like waiting for that Friday. So all eyes on prize. That's it.
Ooh, I love that. Do you have any specific like traditions that you do days before your fight or even on fight night? Is there something specific that, you know what, this has been part of my routine and I just have to do it before fighting?
Not, I don't really particularly do like traditional stuff. I do like therapy session, and this upcoming fight, I'm gonna intend like to do a Reiki session just to like cleanse my energy a little bit. Start kind of in some in a new spot, and yeah, just kind of trying new things, as I go. So not really traditional, not nothing like too crazy. I like to hang out with my people. I like to laugh and, eat some good food and kind of enjoy my time and reset and get ready for the evening.
I love it. I love Reiki, by the way. So
I just
hopefully,
discovered it. I just discovered it, so it's still new. But yes, I am enjoying it. It gives me that, peace of mind too. So it's perfect.
I love it. I love it. Now, the stakes are high for you because you are currently on a winning streak. I'm curious, do you feel more pressured to win to keep that winning streak going? Or is it more like, you know what? I don't really care about like the winning streak. It's mostly about I just win. I just want to win my fight.
I used to be in that mentality when like it's all or nothing, like you all you want to do it's win, win, win. But as I went through this career, like I kind of start transitioning to like there are wins even in, even if you lose. So I am more focused on like becoming a better fighter every fight camp, and facing adversity and becoming just a better person, better, martial artist. At the end of the day, that's what matters to me. So it's not really about just winning. It's if I can win in every other aspect, like that's a big win for me.
Wow. That's like such like a strong like statement right there. And honestly, it's like so positive and like motivating like to listen to. Um
Thank
Nicola,
you.
I love looking at patterns, especially, with fighters' careers. I looked at your record. You are going into your fourth fight of 2025. And I noticed that you've had four scheduled fights every year starting from 2022. Is that your goal each year to have at least four fights under your belt?
um no, but I'm like, you know truthful. I don't want to, jinx it. I come off the fights pretty scratch free, so like I can, move into the next camp. And if I'm healthy, if I'm good to go, I continue training. I take a week and a half off, and then I just kind of start grinding again. So it just happens to be, four fights every year. Actually this in this year, I think there was like in 12 months period, it was like this is my fifth fight, which I'm kind of excited about. That means that I'm pretty active, and I want to continue being active as long as I can. Obviously we're getting older, so I want to keep on going as much as I can.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I noticed like on your Instagram, you would always give a shout out to your training camp. How much do they mean to you, especially, on fight nights?
A lot. It's in this sport, like even though it's individual sport, it's a teamwork. Like you need the right people around you. You need to surround yourself with the same kind of energy, and like those kind of people and like support builds you up and like helps you become what you're gonna be in the future. So I am very grateful for everybody and everything they put. If it doesn't matter what it is. It can be like little things.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't matter what it is. It's like everybody matters the same to me. Because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So yeah.
That's amazing. And you moved from Poland, right, to
Mhm.
here in the US. You know, and I moved to the US from the Philippines. And sometimes finding that group, having that group that feels like family to you, that really means a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And I
especially
moved,
when
and
you're chasing a dream.
Yeah, and I moved a lot throughout my like previous career, and like I've been moving around, bouncing around, and like obviously those relationships form, here in like other places. So like I'm pretty used to it, I would say. But at the same time, like finding those special people that they are sticking with you, that's very, very rare and very important.
Ah, I love it. And I'm glad that you have that kind of like family, like support system, like out here in the United States. Now, let's go back to BTC 29 when you won by submission from a rear naked choke. You had that choke locked in for at least 30 seconds. And yes, I watched it over and over again. I set a timer and it's around 30 seconds. You had that choke hold for 30 seconds before your opponent tapped out. What was going through your mind during that time? Because your opponent was definitely resilient and didn't want to tap out. Were you starting to get impatient, or you just knew that, you know what, I have this locked in. It's just a matter of time before she taps out.
That was a fun one. Well, I was kind of like panicking inside. I was like, okay, this girl, I don't know what's in her neck, but she's not tapping. And I'm like, I know like it's in, but I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I just move on to the next position. So let me try this one more thing. And the one more thing worked at the end. But I was ready to move on to the next situation and like kind of get on top of her and finish her anyways. But yeah, she really surprised me for sure.
That's amazing. Your patience paid off, though.
For sure, yeah, definitely. I mean, I wasn't even expecting, going to the ground with her.
Mhm.
Kind of, she surprised me from the beginning with like the shot. Like she very early tried to shoot on me. We were ready for it, but I wasn't expecting it. So it was it ended up being very good for me. But yeah, all I can say about it.
That's amazing. And I love the show of respect afterwards because it seems like you talked to her afterwards. That was
Hmm.
beautiful, by the way. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we all, we putting our bodies through a lot through every camp and every fights. Like it's a lot of stress mentally, physically, emotionally, and I feel like there should never be a blood between fighters. If it's all for me for like giving each other respect. At the end of the day, we are doing the same job.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, prior to your MMA career, you played basketball in your home country of Poland, here in the US, Germany, and France. What made you decide to end your basketball career after 17 years and pursue a career as a fighter?
Wow, that was 17 years. That's crazy. um I was back when I was young, like sports, like females in sports were like it wasn't very popular.
Mm.
So basketball was one of those. I was like, oh, you're too short, you cannot do it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna show you, I can do it. So I started, pursuing my basketball career, and I was proving people right and left wrong that I can make it, whatever I want to do. But there was always piece missing in me, and I think that was the martial arts, that I wasn't listening to my inner voice that was saying, hey, you'll be good at the individual part of the sport. And it wasn't back then, it wasn't popular, it was just boxing. And so I didn't even have a chance to start. So as years go by and I played college ball and I went play professionally overseas, I kind of felt that missing piece, and it was calling me. I was trying a class here and there, and I was like, oh, that feels great. But my professional contract wasn't allowing me to fight at the same time or even train. So it kind of got to the point when I was kind of choosing between, like, do I start over or I keep going
Mm.
with that old dream of mine. And COVID hit. And during that time, we barely played basketball. Like we pretty much were in quarantine moments every week or two. So we barely got any basketball time, and like it wasn't fun anymore. And I was like, okay, that's it. I was married at a time. I'm still married. We were married, and my wife, she was living in Chicago, and I was, in Germany, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with basketball. There's nothing more left for me. This career is probably over, and we've been living across the ocean for so long. Like, let's just do it. I'm just moving in. I'm flying to US. We're just doing, we're starting over, and I'm gonna start martial arts, and that's what I did.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. What a journey. Now, were you always a fan of, like, martial arts, like UFC? Like, did you watch a lot of it prior to, like, starting your career as a fighter?
I would watch fights here and there,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like I wasn't like crazy about the fights itself. I was just like, I'd follow like the martial artists, what they do, and like I
Mm.
would see like little bits and pieces here and there, and like I would always was more intrigued in the training, like the martial arts aspects, like how people train, like how crazy this sport is, and it was so impressive to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been playing basketball this whole life, and I cannot stand those classes, like I cannot do wrestling class without getting tired, and I'm running all day every day playing basketball, so it was just interesting, different type of conditioning for me. And when I transitioned to doing martial arts, I fell in love with it. And I was like, okay, this is what was missing my whole life.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Now, because you have so much experience from playing basketball, is there something though from that life as a basketball player that help you right now in your career as a fighter?
Um, I think lots of footwork.
Mm.
I have, I wasn't, I was playing professionally. So like I am training, like I've been training like whole life. So I think like my footwork is probably, very big thanks to basketball. I think also the mentality of like I can play basketball in front of big crowds. I've played basketball in front of big crowds, so I think big crowds don't like scare me. Like I love that feeling. um and I think just the emotional and mental experience to play professionally in deal with some adversities, that I had to deal previously. And I think just like that kind of shapes me for who I am right now, and helps me with my current career.
I love it. That's amazing. You've definitely accomplished a lot as an athlete and have showcased that Polish power and everything that you've done so far. What else do you want to achieve as a professional fighter?
I would love to get to UFC,
Mhm.
um, or one champion. And I would love to also like, be the role model for youth and help them, find their confidence and like be extra motivating for others, and like just my dogs are getting very needy right now.
Hi to your dogs, by the way. Hello.
So I would just, my dream, it's right now, I just take day by day. I loved what I'm doing. I want to continue doing it, and if I can keep the communities growing and keep people getting together and train together and make each other better as a team, like I'll be happy with it.
Love it. I love it. And I did this thing with Veronica. Actually, shout out to Veronica Vargas, by the way, for connecting us
Yeah, hi
with each
Vero.
other. Hi. So when I interviewed her, we actually did some manifesting, right? Manifesting what you want to achieve in your, professional fighting career. For you, I also want to ask you the same question that I asked to Veronica. If there's like a dream brand or sponsor, you can call whatever brand that you want. We're manifesting this for you. Which brand would you want to partner with in your journey as a mixed martial artist?
Oh, that my wife would laugh a lot because she would be like screaming in the background. I think Carhartt should sponsor me here. I totally like I am so handy. I love to do yard work, like other stuff, building things. And that's so in my alley. I feel like Carhartt needs to sponsor me for just I don't know if they even sponsor any athletes, so that would be the first one. Um, yeah.
Is there any other brand aside from
Um,
that? It's the manifesting hour of the Rain Check right now. So we're gonna call these brands to sponsor you.
you know what? I think Carhartt is the biggest one on my list right now. What else? I mean, it would be awesome to get sponsored by like Nike. I mean, that would be great. Help some athletes out with some gear and like other things.
There you go.
Create some MMA section in their brand, but.
I love it. I love it. All right. You guys know who to call now. Nikola Kacperska
Yeah.
right here. Now, before I let you go, I'd like to ask you for a message to those who have been supporting you, your wife, and I know your dogs are right by your side right now, and you have some
Oh,
cats
he's
too.
Louis is laying on top of me right now and just being like, "Mom, give me some attentions here."
Well, this is the moment for Louie and the whole family. What's your message for them?
Thank you everybody for all your support and like all of my sponsors, my wife, my family, everybody that been putting up with me, through every camp. I I am thankful and grateful for everything that you guys do for me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
And is everyone gonna be with you on fight night
So
at
my
the
wife is coming, Veronica is coming. She's gonna be my corner and my coach, yeah.
Yay!
Michael
Amazing.
Santiago.
Oh,
Santiago.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, shout out to your, teammates, at what's the name of the gym again?
Santiago Training Center.
Santiago Training Center. And hello to your wife and then your dogs and your cats. Please give them a big hug for me. And thank you so much for joining me today here on the Range.
Louis.
Hi, is that Louie right there?
Yes, that's Louis.
Oh, what a cutie pie. Hi, Louie. Well,
Okay,
thank you
Louis.
so much for joining me here on the Rain Check. Guys, please do follow Nikola Kacperska on Instagram. I will put her information down below. And don't miss her bout this Friday against Hope Chase at LFA 223 live from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino in Niagara Falls, New York. For tickets, go to ticketmaster.com and search for LFA 223. Nicola, thank you so much again. Anytime you want to check in here on the Rain Check, send me a message and we will make that happen. Um,
Sweet.
yeah, yeah. And good luck this Friday. I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait to see you fight. And like I said, come back here on the Rain Check.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. She is Nikola Kacperska. I am Raine Cruz. This is the Rain Check, and we are checking out. Bye.
Bye.